Is it coming through? No. Mm-mm. Yes. Okay, it's working now. There we go. Oh, yeah, I was gonna say you're you're blanked. Oh, you're there. You're in the Ninja feed, but you're not in OBS. Chuck says he doesn't hear you. You don't hear Jingo. What?
How about now? All right.
Okay,
There I am.
good. Oh, there's your video. Wow. Well,
Let
you
me
are the
put me
DM.
where
You
I
can
need to
take
be.
over the world. Big.
There we go. I'm big. All right. All technical difficulties aside, welcome to Castles and Crusade on Sunday morning. This is aired Knights of the Rose. I am your host, Jingo the Fool. And let me introduce first on cameras are backward. On my side here, we have Daklish. Introduce yourself and your character.
Hello, I'm Bean, aka Tracy, and I'm playing Backlish Luckspindle, a teeny tiny little gnome rogue. He loves being sneaky. He came into this world of rogueness and just fully loves being stealthy, sneaky, maybe a little bit of thievy, or a lot.
Larcenous.
Very, it's everything, all the shinies. So that is me,
Shiny.
Dacklish, the best kind of gnome,
Of
right?
course. All right. And Hasek, introduce yourself and tell us about Hasek.
My name is Remen, and my character is Husik, and I am a dwarf fighter. Very simple.
Very simple.
And
Down
I'm
to
very simple.
we like very simple. All right. Shall we go ahead and jump right in? Let me pull up my story elements here. All right. Let me set a scene. 'Tis warm this late spring evening, and upon the banks of the Donau, below the walls of Castellevin, a carnival has sprung up, offering a delightful diversion to the dust of the road. Acrobats cavort, vendors extol the virtues of their wares, and the wondrous smells of a dozen treats fill the air. At one end of the air, at one end of the fair, stands a tall tent out of which spills the raucous sounds of a band in full stride. A prodigious stack of empty hogsheads indicates that this is the beer tent, and you find yourselves among the crowd of a festival. Now, first question: does Hasek know Daklish and vice versa, or have you not met?
Well, we discussed that a little bit, but then we didn't keep discussing it.
Nope, we didn't keep discussing
Well,
it.
I'm going to put you on the spot then. You can decide.
I'd like to think, especially with today just being the two of us, that we have met. I like to think that Hasek, if you'll entertain this idea, that you've perhaps helped me get out of a few scrapes when I've gotten myself in trouble. Um, us smallings need to stick together. But that little Dacklish gets into trouble quite often because maybe he's not as stealthy at stealing as he thinks he is, and maybe I've been in jail a couple of times. That's hard to say, but Hasek is helped save my little butt by maybe making a distraction, or if we're not in a big town like this, just flat out breaking me out of jail. Maybe Hasek doesn't like to break people out of jail. I don't know
All
about
right.
that, but
We can roll with it.
All right.
let's do that.
Do me
We're
this
we're
favor.
we're good buddies.
We're gonna start rolling
I keep
some
I keep
dice.
us fed. Because, gnomes love food. And I probably keep a sandwich in my pocket at all times for my pal Hasek just to make sure he is fully fed because gnomes love food. And, just, oh, look, sandwich. Hasek,
Well,
eat.
Dacklish, we have previously determined why you had come to Castle 11. I'm going to put this out there for the listening crew. You were here in pursuit of somebody named Vig the Deceiver,
Yes.
a criminal element and former member of your Thieves Guild who stole something from the Thieves Guild leader. You heard rumors that he was here at Castle 11 and have come to try to recover whatever it is the Thieves Guild leader wants back. He said you would know it when you saw it. The problem is that Vig the Deceiver, is a master of disguise. You know what he really looks like, but he rarely looks like that. And would you have told Hasek that this is why you came and dragged him to Castle 11? Or would you have been, larcenous and cantankerous and maybe contrived another story as to why you're here?
Well, I need to know, how does Hasek feel about his thieving friend? Are you often telling him, slow your roll, boy? You need to, like, I feel like this. I feel like this. I might not have told him because it's part of the thieves guild mission, right? So I might have kept that part. I think I probably just told Hasek that there's a fair at the castle, lots of great food and ale and grog and good times to be had.
Oh,
Dancing.
okay, so you guys have just. All right. Let me fix that.
Bean is a little loud. That's not the
I have to
first time
adjust
I've
that.
heard
There we
that.
go. There we go.
Mama says it's a stadium,
Yeah,
boys. Who needs a
Discord
mic?
was coming in a little low on her, so I turned it up. I can turn it back down. Discord, it's implied in the name. Anyways, you guys have just come off the road then. You're dusty, you're thirsty, and you can hear the beer tent rolling. And as you push your way through the crowds, let me have a wisdom check from each of you. And as you may be new to Fantasy Grounds, this is how that works. On your main page of your character sheet, you'll see your 6 attributes, the score, and then the bonus column. If you double click on that bonus column, you'll throw a die roll. Do that for me.
Oh, I somehow did it twice. Oh,
You probably only needed a single click. Sometimes they update the way Fantasy Grounds works.
okay.
I
I'll take
learn it
that first roll,
secondhand.
please.
Yes, will always be the first roll.
Why does it say +1? Why does it
Because
say
you're a
+1?
first level character.
Oh,
F
right.
level?
You add your level
You add
to
your level.
save.
Oh,
Absolutely.
right. Yeah. Yep. No, never mind.
Right.
Yep.
I forgot about that with CNC. That's kind of a neat.
Never mind. Yep. I remember.
All right. As you guys push your way through the crowd, Hasek, the only thing you can think of is beer. 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 You're totally oblivious to the crowd around you and the acrobats and the music and the smells and the sights. You're thinking beer. But Daklish, on the other hand, as you guys are pushing through the crowd, ever being aware, here's some things in the crowd. You hear somebody say, I heard Lord Esmar will be hosting a hunt. Oh, I can't wait. All them lords and ladies with their fancy banners and such. So exciting. And as you push through the crowd, you hear other voices. You hear a lady say, you smell that? Smell that? Rain's a-coming. Mark me words. Always does this time of year.
Okay.
You also hear this. I saw myself the other day, howling, fussing like nobody's business. Overturned old Hobbs' flower cart, she did, and all 'cause he didn't have the posy she likes. I tell you, that girl has got the devil in her.
Okay.
Other rumors you hear, and this one you would know. Can you believe it? 1,000 gold for Vig the Deceiver? He's not one I'd want to cross.
Ooh.
And the last one you hear, as whether you want to or not, Hasek seems to be pushing you towards that beer tent. You hear somebody say, I was out on the river late last night and I heard them. Drums. Goblins, to be sure.
Okay.
And, all right. Are you going to try to divert your beer-obsessed dwarven friend from the beer
Nope.
tent? Or we're headed there?
We're headed there. Daklish knows where there's beer, there's plenty of coin.
Ah, yes.
And more rumors perhaps to be heard.
All right. There we go. The beer tent is a large structure with a tap at one end and a bandstand riser at the other end. There is a bass band playing, drinking songs, while about half the patrons sing along. It is early in the evening. There are a couple of dozen patrons inside in small groups of varying states of intoxication. I will take another wisdom check from each of you. Bear in mind, these wisdom checks are more or less awareness rolls, perception rolls, observation rolls, whatever you choose to label them as.
Oh, we're big
Alright.
smart. we're big obvious here today.
As most of the clientele in here are human, and neither of you are human, you don't see a lot in the crowd.
Oh, man. And so the rolls begin.
Great roll. Hasek, I think the bar's over this way. If we could just get through these blasted humans.
The humans, yeah.
Oi, little people down here.
All right, make me a charisma check.
Alright, well, clicky. Hey, there we go. That's a little bit better.
And people kind of look down at you, and if you'll step aside, but you'll push your way in, and you will sit down, and the beer wench will come around with mugs of beer and slap some down in front of you, and you have a few sips, and the beer is good, and finally relaxing, quenching the dust of the road. And Hasek, you've got this big frosty beer. You're just bringing it up to your mouth to take a sip when somebody bumps into you from behind, and sloshes beer all over your face.
Oh no.
What are you going to do about it?
At first, I'm gonna be very sad.
And Daclus, you look over and you can see beer foam running out of Hassek's beard and mustache and pooling on the table in front of him.
How drunk is the guy
And-
that bumped into him?
You turn around and you can see a big guy, and he's kind of laughing and jostling and pounding the table with his 2 or 3 buddies, completely oblivious to the fact that he's just slammed into your friend.
Okay, Hassek, what's Hassek doing?
Yes, what is Hassek doing?
I'll overcome the sadness a little bit and turn around, tap him on the shoulder, telling him he owes me another beer.
And Daclish is going to pay attention if this man pulls out his bag of money.
All right, this guy, you tap him on the shoulder, and he'll turn around and he'll look right over your head, and then shrug his shoulders and turn back around and go back to being loud and obnoxious with his buddies.
Okay, how about because this has probably happened to us before, I'm going to hop up on Hassek's shoulders and tap the guy again.
And he'll turn around and he'll kind of like, whoa, when he sees you right there in his face, he's like,
Hey, my pal, Hassek, down here. He's got something to say to you, buddy.
I'm busy. And he'll turn back around.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hassek, sorry, pal. I don't think you're going to get another beer for free.
Ooh.
I'll hop off of his shoulders. I don't know. I think the guy turns around, he's busy. And let's go. I'm gonna pickpocket this guy. I'm gonna get my buddy's money back.
You know what? In the meantime, I'm just going to stand next to them.
Are you going to stand up and...
I'm just going to stand next to them, listen to their conversation. If he
Kinda-
says he's busy, I want to know what he's busy with.
So you're going to get up and kind of like get up from your bench and move over and sit down at his bench.
Yep.
Okay. Let's look at Daclish first. Let's see. Oh, you look at all these things you can do.
I can hide,
You can pickpocket.
move silent, and pickpocket. Yep, I can
Yes.
pickpocket.
So make me that pickpocket roll. And we'll do all of the rolls open in the chat, including mine. I will never not let you see the rolls I make, just so you know how brutal they are or how lame they are.
So pickpocket is a dex. That's not like a spell.
No,
Right.
it isn't right there where you see that little 2. If you click on that, it will roll a dex roll for you.
The little 2.
On your abilities tab, on your character sheet,
Yep.
scroll down to pickpocket. You'll see the
Oh.
box, and it says
right,
rogue pickpocket,
yeah,
then the magnifier,
okay.
and then the little 2. Click on that.
Got it. Oh no.
That is
Heavens.
not successful.
No. Not likely. I've mentioned Daclish has gotten caught a couple of times. Hopefully today's not it. Wait, do I get advantage? The man's probably drunk, right?
This game does not have advantage. However, he is drunk. You're correct about that.
Oh. Does that mean
And,
not really drunk?
No, that's not a prime for him. So you weren't able to get his coin purse. He's kind of a
Oh, right.
big,
Dex is a prime for me, though.
burly, overweight. Yeah, all you would have needed was a 12 minus whatever level he is. If
Ah,
he's a typical
yeah.
human, it's a 1.
Got it. And it's
Is that Ian Aaron or Lan Aaron? I can never tell. Ian Aaron. This is Fantasy Grounds Unity. And yes, Trollord Games is well supported on this virtual table.
you got their name right.
I try. Praise be to the trolls. Trolls anyways, you were not able to get to his purse, but he hasn't noticed you. Do you want to try again? Kazawi, thank you for the follow.
Bro, do I want to try again? Well, I want to listen in as well, so I may try again after listening and hearing what's going on.
All right. So Hasak, you push into the table, and as soon as you do, all 3 of the guy sitting on your side of the bench and the 2 on the other side, all stop, and they all kind of look at you, and the guy that bumped into you says, "Something you need?"
Well, apparently you were too busy to talk to me a second ago.
And I'm too busy now. So if you're
Well,
done, we'll get back to it.
Go ahead. I'll just sit here.
And he turns around to his buddies and proceeds to tell a highly inappropriate story about himself and a barmaid. To which his buddies guffaw, and it's clear by his attitude that he is very denigrating to women, children, and pretty much anybody that he can bully.
Real piece of work here.
Yeah, he's a typical entitled, crud. He doesn't look particularly wealthy or important, but he is a big guy. And him and his buddies kind of laugh and just kind of, continue their thing. They don't appear to be concerned about you at all.
I'll be right back. Phone call.
Now,
Oops.
you guys are standing there, and Daklish, make me another wisdom check.
Okay, can do that. Do. If only this was a prime, right? Okay.
Okay, now you heard a sound that almost sounded like your own voice, and you couldn't hear what it said, but it sounded like it originated right in front of you. And this big guy turns around and looks right at you and says, "What did you call me?"
And did I hear what it was?
No, you would have needed an 18 on that roll to hear what the sound was. But Hasak, you can make me a wisdom check as well.
Wait, he had a phone call, so he's...
Oh, okay. We will
must have
hold
been
on a moment. All right, well, then we will roll without him. Here, check this out. Let's see. He is port 3. We can shut his gate. I think that's how that works. No, not that one. Let's see. Yeah, not that one. And it's not working. All right, we won't worry about
That's
it.
fine.
Anyways, he turns around and he looks at you and he's mad. And he slams his beer down on the table and will get up, all 5'11" of him to your, what, 2'3", or how tall are you?
Daklish is, where did I put my height?
3'4".
He's little.
He's a tall gnome.
Yeah, I think I went with the upper level or medium. I looked in the guide. I don't know. Although I think I wanted him to be tinier. Did I say 3'6"? Okay.
That's still pretty tiny compared to a human. And
you know what? Daklish is just gonna puff out his chest and say, "Yeah, what are you gonna? What? You got a problem with bad names suddenly?"
all right.
I was gonna go get him some beers, but then I heard their horrendous name calling. Decided no.
All right, sorry about that.
All right. Before we continue, I need a wisdom check from you, Hasek.
All right.
Yeah, we're fixing to get into a little wee bit of trouble.
Well.
Oh, just cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Buckle up, Buttercup. We might be getting in a bar fight.
We'll figure it out.
Did you hear? Yeah, you heard that part. The guy's talking about derogatorily towards women,
Yes.
children.
Yes.
Yes, these guys are your typical pigs. Probably they could be off-duty soldiers, farmers, laborers, what have you. But
They dressed? How are they dressed?
Typical, commoner clothing.
Okay, not gear, not armor.
No, you guys are probably being on the road are probably in your gear. Most of the people in this tent are not.
Okay, yeah, and by the way, Daklish always has a cloak on with a hood and always keeps that hood up.
Okay.
Hasek might not know why, even when it's hot. Doesn't matter. Daklish likes to keep that hood up and feel sneaky and dark and mysterious. So,
I'll call this guy Reveler 1.
So Hasek, while you were away, one of the guys in front of us heard something and turned around and accused me of saying something bad to him that I didn't actually say.
Hasek didn't hear anything.
So you just see this guy spin around and Daklish going, "Yeah, what of it, buddy?"
All right. Did you hop up on the table or are you down on the ground?
I'm on the ground. I'm on the ground.
And he says, "Be gone, runt," and kicks at you.
And kicks at me.
And does a point of damage, putting a big bruise on your shin.
I'm gonna look over at my buddy Hasek and go, Can you believe this guy?
And that is
Dude, it
that
did
is
not do-
non-lethal damage, by the way.
Right. I'm gonna look up at him after talking to Hasek and say, "Really? Summer fair? Shouldn't you be drinking instead of starting a fight with me?"
All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to have initiative rolls, but before we do that, I need to know what you guys intend to do. This guy just kicked you. He just started it.
He just kicked me. I what do I don't know. I'm gonna look at Hasek and what do you just want to? I'm gonna kind of whisper or loud enough that he can hear me since we're low, right? There's all the ambient sound. Like, do you want to get into it with this bozo or do we just want to? I don't.
Hosing is not gonna hear that. I'm gonna be honest.
You
He's not
know
gonna hear
that
it.
you guys have probably both spent a night in jail before for brawling, and depending on where you're at, the punishment could be anywhere from just the night in jail to, maybe a little time in a labor camp or a fine.
Um. Okay.
If you get caught.
If I get caught. Um. I like to think I'm a pretty dexterous. It's one of my prime attributes, little dude. So, um, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna remember that. And I don't actually want to fight with this guy. I don't want to throw punches. I don't want to pull out my dagger. I think I want to slip under his legs up behind him and maybe hop up on his bench because he's clearly standing at this point and be like, did you hear that? Who did that? Where'd they come from?
All right. Let's have a look at you here.
Is that Vig I see over there? That's what I'm gonna do. Try to scare this guy, but zip zip zip. Cause I'm speedy. I'm quick. I'm nimble.
Okay. Give me a dexterity check to slip between his legs.
All right, let's go. Prime. Oh!
It's not gonna work.
You go to slip between his legs, and he moves his leg, and you run right into his knee. Make me another dexterity check.
Make another dex check? Is that what you said?
Yes. Because we're going to just do this theater of the mind. All right, you run into his knee, and then you fall on your butt. Remon, what do you want to do? You just saw this guy turned around and said, "What did you say?" And she's like, "Yeah." And so he got up and he kicked her. And so she tried to go between his legs, and he was drunk and started to stumble, and she ran right into his leg and fell on her butt. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna punch him in the stomach as hard as I can. Yeah.
Wait, am I under this guy's legs right now?
No, you're still in front of him.
Oh, darn.
All right. Hasek, if you would, in the upper right-hand corner of the table is a little button with a pair of crossed swords called the combat tracker. If you open that, you will see yourself and Reveler 1 and Daklish on that.
Yes.
You may, on your character sheet, on the combat tab, let's see, you're striking with just your fists. So just make a pummel attack. It'll be the first one down.
Okay. And I just drag that over Reveler,
You
right?
just drag it right over the Reveler, and it will make the attack roll for you.
Oh,
right.
that was a 16.
Yeah.
I thought it was a 6.
All right. We don't have your punch set up for damage, so do this. On the D6, if you right-click, you'll see a custom dice, the little 3 question marks. Roll a D2, and then add 1.
Oh.
D2.
Did you
And
see
then roll
that?
1.
And then +1 modifier?
With a +1 modifier.
I should put it in the right spot, right?
Yes. You should just drop that in the chat. All right. +1 is 2. You punch. Let me find him. Reveler 1 in the gut for 2 points of damage. And he goes, oof, and spits out a little bit of his beer. Being drunk, he's going to go last.
Being drunk, he's gonna what?
He's going to go last. Actually, he got to go first on the first round, and we didn't roll initiative. So I let you guys each have your reaction to him. You tried to go between his legs, and he punched. Now,
Now you want that initiative?
Now it auto rolls when I click the next round.
Oh,
It should. Yes, it did. But you got a
no,
7.
I did that. I double clicked the initiative box because I thought
Okay.
you wanted initiative.
I can set it up if you guys want to do your random initiatives, but we do roll each round. Right now, Hasek goes first. You punch a guy in the gut. He is, Actually, I'm thinking that where you were standing, when he got up, you were behind him, so that punch landed in his kidney. Which probably hurt just as bad, if not a little worse. But, you have gotten his attention now. And it is your turn, Hasek.
So now I'm thinking, am I going to attack again, or am I just gonna talk at this point?
Well, with your meaty arms and a +1 bonus when you punch, you hit pretty hard. You could probably just knock this guy out if you hit him a couple of times.
Are there any guards in the area, or maybe we're too short to see?
You did not see any in the tent, but you did see a few out in the crowd.
Is anyone noticing this little scuffle starting?
They're about to. I think it has just started. He kicked you, and then, dude let out a bellow when he got punched in the back by the dwarf. And so, yeah, I think as of right now, things are on.
I'm gonna talk to him. I'm gonna say to him, "You sobered up a bit now?"
Make me a charisma check. Let's see if you can persuade him that maybe this isn't the best course of action. All right. Good roll. Now, were you trying to be persuasive or intimidating?
Persuasive.
Okay. Intimidating would have been your better bet. So he will look at you, and you'll see a little bit of the fight go out of his eyes. At this point, if you wanted, you could punch him anyways.
Oh, I'm not gonna.
Or you're going to let it go.
I'm gonna let it go.
All right.
Close are we to the bar?
How
How about this? Instead of that, while Hasek was talking to him, how about it was him and 2 buddies, right?
they're on the other side of the table. Imagine, I don't know if you guys have ever seen a beer tent like in Europe.
Yes.
It's a big, long tent, and there are cafeteria-style benches in rows that go from one end of the tent to the other. This guy is sitting on one end of the long bench row. His buddies are on the far side of it, so you would have to go over the tables to get to them.
Right, no, but he's
Or
there
under.
with 2...
Yes,
Right.
he is there with 2 buddies who are on the other side of the table.
So, while Hasek is having this conversation, Daklish, having been in these kind of situations probably often, or just knowing drunks, he's gonna my question with were we close to the bar is either he's going to go to the bar and buy three beers, ales, grogs, whatever we're drinking, meads. He's either going to do that, or if it's too far because we are in combat, look around for some mugs that are not being attended, or maybe the people are not paying attention, just so that he can come up with 3 beers and slap them down on the ground and say, how about let's drink some more?
All right, let's do this. I'm going to introduce you guys to what I call the luck die. Roll a d12. The higher, the better.
A D, this one. Okay. I didn't pick it up and jiggle it. Did it roll?
No, you should
No.
drop it in the chat window.
Oh, got it. Okay, good.
Yeah, it doesn't roll as long as it's not in the chat.
9 is good luck. You're not too far from the bar. If this round you could get over to the bar, if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the bar and buy
All right,
3.
so you
How much?
got-
I have. How much are the ales? I know I've got money.
We'll worry about money later. Right now, for
Cool.
the purpose of the narrative, will not count change.
Okay. All right. Cool. I'm gonna go buy 3 beers. No, actually 4
All right,
because
so
Hussack needs a beer. So I got.
Dactylis slides out under a couple of tables and steps over to the bar. Slaps some gold down and says, 4, please. All right.
And a glass of milk. No.
Revel number 1 is going to reach over to what's left of Hossack's beer on the table and pick it up and pour it on Hossack's head.
Didn't he spill it all, or just some of it?
No, he just lost some of it on his face. But now he has
Gotcha.
spilled the rest of it.
On to Hussack. How rude. Ding ding. Oh, that's cute. Round 4.
Yes, well, it was on 2 when we started because I didn't reset. And see, it automatically rolled initiative, and you guys get to go first. His 2 buddies this round just laughed. Good morning. Unremarkable flesh bag, dead heart. All the faces coming in.
Put it in a dirty glass. Well, that's what I was hoping Deadheart was to
Hossack,
find.
it is your turn again as you taste little bits of your beer as it runs down your hair into your mouth and into your beard and into the armor that you're wearing. It's actually pretty good beer for human beer. Hossack, what do you want to do?
Is he laughing?
He's not laughing. He's just looking down at you. His buddies are having a great old howl at your discomfort.
You know what? I'll start laughing, and then I'm gonna swing at him again.
All right. Punch him.
Let's see. What was that again? Pummel, right?
Yes.
Drunken brawl, and we're not even barely a half an hour in. Ooh,
It's all
okay.
a part of the narrative. All right.
is.
You punch him again. Roll a D2 plus 1.
That's my boy. Oh,
2 plus 1 is 3.
nice.
And Reveler number 1, because he turned around, and this time your blow did not land in the kidney. It landed just above his most sensitive spot, right
Above his tenders.
right above his tenders, hard enough to make him kind of make a oof sound and squinch his legs together, and with a pained look on his face, kind of slumped to the ground, leaning against the bench in pain. He's not unconscious, but he might as well be.
Nice. Okay.
Good.
Douglas, you're at the bar. They hand you 4 great big mugs of beer. How strong are you?
How? Yeah, super not strong.
All right. About this time, this guy's on the ground. You see Douglas coming back over, and she's leaning way back and staggering under the weight of these 4 huge beers. Barely able to contain it, vein bulging out in his neck. As he, but
Yeah,
he
yeah.
comes back
Dacklish
over with beers.
will put him on the table, look at Hussock, good punch, my mate, and slap the beers down and say, "Now, guys, wouldn't we rather drink? I think I saw some guards over there noticing a scuffle. Who wants to go to jail?
In reaction,
Beer for all."
yeah. In reaction to his buddies will avail themselves of beer, and they're laughing at dude's discomfort as he lays there, grimacing against the ground. He's like, "Oh, I guess he told you, didn't he?" Like, they're laughing as much as his distress, because that's what jerks do. They jerk on their friends too.
If you could get beat up by a dwarf.
And all right. About this time, you hear a commotion at the far end of the bar, and you can't really see because you're short and can't see over the crowd. But several town guards push through the crowd, and as they push towards you, they look around, and let's see, how many of them are there? How many guards show up?
Boom, boom, boom. There's no fighting here. We're just drinking. He had too much.
Half a dozen guards show up. They're typical town guard. They carry truncheons and wear studded leather armor with a leather coif on their head. And one of them will say, pick up the guy that was on the ground and looks around at you and says, "Brawling, huh? You know that brawling is against the law. And brawling at a festival, well, the Lord, he particularly don't like that. I'm going to need y'all to come with me." And he'll look over at you, Douglas, and say, "You too, Shorty." And this one guy who was kind of sitting a little bit down the table, kind of a nondescript, like kind of a shrimpy older guy, says, I saw it all, sir. The little gnomish fella there, he was throwing insults at the big guy. He started it. I heard it.
Well, since when is bad names an offense of brawling? I got beers. I don't know what you're talking about fighting. I wasn't fighting. We weren't fighting. This guy drank himself silly. And I'll point to the unconscious guy.
All right. Oh, all well and good. We'll let the captain sort it out in the morning. You're coming with me.
Hussock.
Do you want to go along peacefully, or are you guys going to resist?
Can I take my beer?
There's a bunch of fresh ones right on the table.
Sigh. Whatever.
All right, I'll go peacefully as long as I have the beer.
The other beers I'm going to spill because I'm not going to let the guy drink them after all. I'm just dumping the rest of the beers that I brought over.
So they will march you and Hussock.
Y'all are racist, I tell ya. Against the little people.
All three of these schmoes, they'll make a procession of marching you out of the tent and all the way back. The soldier will be lecturing you about, here the Lord's putting on a nice festival for the citizens, and you ruffian types try to spoil the fun for everybody. Can't we
Did they?
just have nice things? And he just
Did he
goes
take
on.
the other three guys or just us two?
Yes.
All of
Yes,
us.
he took them
Okay.
too. Yes.
Okay. Um, are they? Do they have us by hand? Like, are they?
Nope.
Are we? Are there? We're just marching through a lot
You're
of
just
people.
marching through a lot of people. They got their truncheons out with the "Don't make me whack you" look in their eye.
Mm.
Like, come
Hmm.
along, peaceful now.
Oh, I guess we'll just go along. I don't know that I want to. I could try to get away and get lost in the crowd, but uh, let's just go to jail
Chances
and
are Hussock couldn't follow you if you did.
right.
All right. So they will march you up the hill into the castle proper and lock you up in the jail. It is cold. It is dark. It is stinky. The cell is a 15 by 20-foot stone chamber with a heavy iron door on one end and a barred window on the other. When you guys get to the jail, they will take any obvious weapons that you have away from you. They will otherwise not go through your packs. What weapons do you guys have?
I have a short bow, and I would like to think that my dagger, I have a dagger, is skillfully hidden in my gear.
All right, then let's do this. Make me a pickpockets roll. Should be called sleight of hand, but we'll use the pickpockets roll.
Sleight of hand, move silently, pickpocket. There it is. Okay, double click. There we go. Oh, come on.
Your dice do not like you.
I
today.
want new dice.
Yes, you can change your dice colors.
Yes, I think purple is bad. I'm gonna do that right away. How do I change my dice color? It was somewhere.
There's
Go
a
ahead.
dice button in the upper right corner of the table.
There it is. All right. So yeah, I rolled a 4 plus 2, 6.
All right, they found your knife.
Apparently.
Anyways,
I need to get better at hiding my daggers.
they have taken your weapons and they put you in the cell. There is a big padlock that they lock the door shut with. And then they leave you to your devices. They will put the two of you in one cell, and they will put the other three schmoes in another cell.
Did they take my lockpicking gear?
No. Is it a weapon? No.
No. Lux. Okay. So we're in a cell. Do we hear anything? I'm listening, obviously, for because we were obviously framed. I'm gonna tell Hussock, hey, Hussock, remember that guy said that it was me that started the fight? Someone here is sneaky and through my voice. So someone already knows we're here and set us up. It was a trap.
It does kind of stink of a setup, doesn't it?
It kind of does. Kind of does.
But
I'm going to say that in hushed tones because there's other jail cells and other people, and I know that prisoners like to listen and get information. I'm good at picking locks. Yes, Kazawi. I'm also going to pull a sandwich out and give it to Hussack and say, hungry? Because I always keep a spare sandwich for my buddy in my pocket. In my bag, not my pocket.
All right. So do you want to try to pick the lock?
Well, I first want to listen to what's happening. What people are talking about? Do I hear Vig's name mentioned? What do we hear anything about?
You hear snoring and grunting coming from the cell next to yours where the other 3 drunkards are. Other than that, you can hear what sounds like a filing, scraping sound coming from somewhere deeper in the cells. Other than that, it's just you. You can hear the distant sound of guard voices somewhere above because you were brought down at least one set of stairs before. And
when we came in, was there?
Go
Sorry,
ahead.
go ahead. Nope, you were getting to where I was going.
You guys came through a guard room that looked like it had 4 guards on duty. That looked like it was the only way down here was through that room.
And there were 4 guards in there. Where did they put our stuff? In that guard room?
Yes, your stuff was in the guard room. They basically took all your weapons and they put them in a little armoire that was in that room.
Hussack, you want me to try to get us out? Maybe get these other guys out and storm on through the guard room? There's how many other people in cells?
Well, there are the 3 other drunkards that you were taken into custody with, and you hear a sound coming from somewhere deeper in that may be somebody else. It could be a rat. You don't know what it is.
Yeah, I'm going to pick the lock because I can always reclose the door. I'm going to try to open the lock. Come on, hands. Don't fail me.
Let's see that roll. All right. I'm going to do this for you.
It's a prime. I missed it by 1.
You missed it by 1. You were unable to get the lock, but you're like rattling the lock pick in it and rattle, clank and rattle, but nobody comes to look.
Wow. Okay.
You want to try again?
If you'll allow me, sure, why not? Let's go.
No.
Same roll.
It's
Same
like
exact
that
roll.
last tumbler. You can't quite get that last tumbler.
Jeez.
Nobody has come to notice you. You want to try again?
You're going to let me keep trying?
It's getting late. You've been working on it about maybe 10, 15 minutes per try working on this.
There we go.
And finally it's like, click, and the lock pops open.
Okay, I'm going to sneak out and go see what that scraping sound was. Past the 3 drunk guys that got us here.
All right, you see in the dark, don't you?
Yes.
Okay. So
I have night vision. Yeah.
You go down, and in the last cell on the end, hunched down in the corner is a raggedy little figure, and he's got something in his hands, and he's like scratching on the wall with it. Because your vision is dark vision, you can't tell what he's scratching on the wall.
Okay.
Vision, or whichever vision you have. You would need an actual light source to read what he's writing.
To read what he's writing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you have dark vision, which, let's see, can see in complete darkness images that are shades of gray.
Yeah.
Maybe if you got in the cell and saw it closer, you might be able to tell.
Or cast dancing lights. But first I'm just going to say, oi, mate, what you in for? What you doing?
he looks over at you with a kind of a crazed look in his eyes. He's like, "It's not what you know, it's who you know." Good morning, Lord Gasumba.
What's up?
And he'll go back to scratching on the wall.
It's who you know. Oi, mate. You want I should bust you out? What you writing over there?
Secrets. And no, why would I want out? They feed me in here.
Secrets. I like secrets. I got
Make
secrets.
me a wisdom check. Meanwhile, Remon, what are you doing?
Wisdom.
Is there any light down there?
There is a light at the far end of the hallway, opposite end of where Daklish went, coming down the stairs from the guard room.
Okay. I will walk over to where Deklish is.
All right, yeah, you can see her down there at the end of the row, talking to somebody. All right, Daklish, your wisdom check. No, you didn't notice. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and because I'm a gnome, I'm special. I'm gonna go ahead and cast my dancing lights at the guy's wall or at a spot right in the corner of the floor of the wall because I want to see what he's scratching.
I mean,
And
I can probably see it, to be honest.
Well, when you cast the dancing lights, you can definitely see it. And I don't have an image prepared to provide to you, and I'm sorry. But it is a fairly accurate map of your part of the world, including where Castle 11 is, Castle Aubrey, the Downau River, which the castle sits next to, and the Darkenfold, which is a forest on the other side of the river, an untamed area. And there's quite a bit of detail to his map on the Darkenfold as well.
do we know what that is? The Darkenfold?
The Darkenfold is the large forest that is south and west of the Kingdom of Kaimar across the Downau River. Castle 11, where you're at, is one of the main defense points against goblins and other things that come crawling out of the Darkenfold periodically.
Okay. Hasek sees this as well because, right, the lights.
Yeah, you can see it.
Oi, that's you a map maker. That's a mighty fine map you're drawing there.
And
My
he
accent's
will
all over the
stand
place.
up and, despite being skinny and spindly and, wearing his, raggedy clothes, he'll stand up and put his back to the wall and try to cover it up very ineffectually. Say, "Get back! It's not what you know, it's who you know. And you don't want to know."
Who do you know? I know a lot of people. Who do you know? I might know someone you know.
Oh, I'm sure you do. I know lots of people. But you don't know him. Oh, no.
Who him?
And it's obvious. This guy, his cheese left his cracker a long time ago.
Mm-hmm. Not likely. Oh, wait, but
Hasek, as you come strolling up, make me a wisdom check.
Oh,
I don't see
Oh,
shit.
I'd almost go to that 20. All right, you don't notice either.
So Daklish is getting in his mind that maybe this crazy guy might be a great distraction. If Hasek, do we want to try to not storm through, but do we want to break out of here, get our gear back, and slip away, or do we just want to rest for the night and see what happens?
I mean, I think we should rest because we don't know how many guards there will be.
And once you're on the run, you're on the run.
Yeah. There's so many people. What's this crazy guy? Do we try to who do you know? Who is it? Who are you afraid of?
Oh, I know all of them. But you can't say their names because they'll hear you.
Draw it there in the dirt. Draw
Oh
it.
no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no.
Then you can wipe it away.
All right, and he will casually step around the dancing lights that you made, kind of looking at them oddly, and he will come over towards you. And as he gets close to you, he puts his hand on the cell door, and he pushes it open. At which point you realize he's not locked in here, and he'll say, "You need to go. If he finds out you're here and that you're talking to me, that won't be good." And then he'll slam the door shut and he'll go back over.
He told us we need to
no.
go.
Yes.
I was like,
And
what's
he'll
with this
pull the
guy?
door shut and he'll go back over to scratching on his wall in the dark, which is strange because he looks human, and if he's human, he certainly can't see what he's doing.
Right.
Which makes the detail of the map he scratched on the wall all that more amazing. So what you want to do, what you want to do.
So he warns that we need to go. Was he talking to both of us, one of us?
It's kind of hard to tell because his eyes pointed in different directions when he got close.
Nice. Okay. I was like, what do you make of this crazy man? He's a
Well,
little
he wants us to leave him alone, so let's leave him alone.
But what about was he warning us like that we need to will we be safe if we spend the night here?
No clue.
Oh. Okay. Let's
He's just
most
a little chance encounter and an adventure seed for some time down the road.
do we have paper to like scribble down a rough drawing?
Of his map?
Yeah.
Probably not if you don't have it in your inventory.
No. I don't know what's in our rogue
But
what's in rogue
it's
tools.
scratched on a stone wall. It's not going anywhere. And you know
you would hope.
Right. Okay, well,
I mean,
we'll go back to our Hasek doesn't want to try to figure a distraction. I don't know if we can. Let's just go back to our cell then and close the door.
And pop the lock back on it.
Sure. And just settle in, and I'll sit in the corner, kind of keep with my
Are you going to
facing
try not to fall asleep?
the.
Or are you gonna? There are stone benches in there with some straw on it, and despite the accommodations, the straw in here is clean. They're not inhumane.
They're not inhumane. Hasek, I think we should keep watch. I feel on edge after the crazy guy that we were set up. I not good things.
All right. What I want from you, both of you, then, is a Constitution check to see if, on your respective watches, if you stay awake.
okay.
Is it gonna go? Come on.
I have a feeling I'm gonna fail this one.
I'm tired.
Okay. And Dakish con check? That
Oh, did it not? It didn't go.
No.
There we go. Ugh. Yep. I'm tired. We're both
All right.
tired.
I mean, it's a prime for me, so it might be enough, but I don't know.
Nope, still need a 12 on a prime.
All right.
Dawn arrives with a cold bucket of river water. You sit up stiffly in your cell as a guard plops the bucket down in your cell and says, "Freshen up, ladies and gentlemen. You got an audience with the captain." He drops a bundle of rags and a chunk of lye soap on the floor next to the bucket. 10 minutes. Y'all get pretty now. He barks as he walks out, loudly slamming the cell door behind him.
Okay. Wakey, wakey.
All right, from out in the yard, you can hear through the window the sound of soldiers going through their physical training, push-ups, sit-ups, jumping jacks, the whole 9 yards. There is light coming in, so you can see your cell a little better. What do you want to do?
I want to check the bucket and the rags for anything that might be hidden in there. Like, is there somebody on our side trying to help us? So is there anything in the bottom of the bucket of
Nope,
water?
the rags are clean, and there's a chunk of soap if you want to freshen up.
Do we need freshening up?
You
I don't
tell
know if I
me.
like
You
to
were on
take
the
a
road
I
before now,
guess.
so
All right, yep. I'll clean up. Toss the soap over to Hussick. You got beer all over. You smell
I'll
like
wash
ale.
up, yeah. I think that's the best plan, just to wash up.
And then I'll take that soap and pocket it. You
All right.
never know when
Then
some slippery
add a
soap.
bar of soap to your inventory.
There we go.
You're
bar
right.
of
You
soap.
never know when you might need a bar of soap. About 15 minutes later, the jailer returns and says, "Follow me and be quick about it. The captain does not like to be kept waiting." He leads you through the keep to a large brass-bound oak door. "Mind your manners. The captain does not tolerate disrespect. Speak only when spoken to and ask questions only when prompted. Is that understood?"
I'll nod.
All right.
Yep.
It's like, without waiting for affirmation, he shoves the door open and tells you to go in. It's like, as you can see beyond the door is a large, dimly lit hall. Fading tapestries depicting scenes of noble leisure adorn the walls, and a threadbare red carpet leads to a dais at the far end, upon which sits a figure in a fur cloak. And he will say,
Oh, go ahead.
"Our revelers have arrived. Do come forward."
Dacklish will bow, my captain. He's going to be polite.
And you see the man on the throne as you come forward. It's not a throne, it's just a chair. Tall, skinny, looks a bit like Tim Curry. Got an evil leer on his face. And he'll pause for a moment. And as you approach, he will say, "I will be brief. I am Captain Gallardo, Lord Esmaud's steward. You stand accused of brawling in public, a crime which carries a sentence of 30 days' labor. This is your chance to plead on your behalf. You may speak when ready." And he'll sit back and cross his arms and kind of leer at you.
Is it just the two of us or all five of us?
It is just the two of you.
The other guys are still in
They
jail,
are not
or
here. As far as you know, yes.
like when we were woken up, they were still there?
You couldn't tell because you can't see from one cell into the next. Each cell is stone all the way around with an iron door on it to allow you to see in.
Okay,
So,
I got you.
They are probably still there. You don't know for sure.
Let's see. Okay, so Dacklish again will bow. My captain, 'twas a mm, uh, most unfortunate circumstances as the gala of the fair. My companion and I were simply getting some drinks, sitting down when this man bumped into us and kicked me for no reason. We, I'm
Kicked you, did
sure,
he?
kicked me. I brought beers for everyone. Again, knowing it's a why brawl during this glorious event happening
And you
around
can
us.
see he's he's got this oh please look on his face, and he will kind of roll his eyes and then turn towards you, Hussock, and say, "Have you anything to add to this?"
Nope, nothing to add.
He'll say, "I've heard enough. All things considered, brawling is still a crime, so I cannot just overlook your indiscretions. I can, however, offer you an alternative to 30 days of toil. What say you?"
Go ahead, sir.
And he will look over at the dwarf. "And you, Lord Dwarf?"
Yes, let's do the alternative.
"Ah." And then he will continue. "I'm glad that we could come to an arrangement. Now, let us discuss the task ahead of you. In 2 weeks, Lord Esmar's beloved daughter, and I have the wrong name in there. Her name is Rosette, is set to marry the son of Lord Ormahar of Aubrey Castle. As goblin activity has been reported in the eaves of the Darkenfold, my lord cannot spare anyone for an escort detail, nor can he excuse himself to attend the wedding. Therefore, you will be his daughter's escort. Accommodations have been made for you in the garrison. You leave on the morrow. Good day. See the guards on your way out for your weapons." And then he'll kind of make a shoe as if you can leave now.
All right, walking out.
As you wish.
And you're wondering what just happened. This seemed like an obvious, railroad. Now you understand why you were set up. But why
Goblins.
you were picked, you don't know. But you were the two only obvious adventurer-looking people in the beer hall that last night. All right.
Right. Because we had our gear on.
Yes, you did. The jailer will return and lead you guys to a small bunk room with 4 cots, a wash basin, and a chamber pot. Any equipment previously confiscated will be here dumped in the middle of the floor. You have a day to yourself in Castle 11. You are not sure what to do at this point. It is up to you. Do you guys have things you would like to do in town before you report for duty tomorrow? Or would you like to try to just skip town and say, you know what, screw this?
Well, we've come into town. We're not lacking. I'm not lacking possessions aside from that one glorious weapon that someday I would like to have. Maybe go to a. Oh no, I don't want to go into jail again. I think that Dacklish just wants to meander around and listen for rumors of what's his name? Vig, as well as finding out, listen for rumors of Vig, because he can again move silently and be sneaky. Nobody sees him. There's lots of humans, so he can hide great. Great. So listen for rumors of Vig and find out if there's something shady about about this daughter setting off to, if there's, he feels like there's something obviously that we don't know. Not just that we were picked because, is there, yeah, that's what he wants to do.
You will, poking around town, you will learn a few things.
Okay.
It is common knowledge in the town that the young lady Rosette Esmar is a spoiled brat and a thoroughly unpleasant person, prone to fits of hysterics when she doesn't get her way. It is also known that Captain Gallardo holds his position because he is the brother-in-law of Lord Estmar. And that Captain Gallardo is not well liked in the town, and you have even heard rumors about, the shady goings on under his watch. But you hear nothing of Vig the Deceiver. Hasek, how would you like to spend your day?
I don't think I have anything to do. I think I have everything I need and all that kind of stuff.
All right.
And nothing I'm searching for.
So, you will just spend your day. Are you just going to spend your day in the bunkhouse, hanging out, sharpening your weapons?
Yes. I will inspect the weapons just in case they did something to them.
All right. Dacklish, as you are out and about in town, other things you will learn is that 2 days ago, Lord Estmar actually rode out on a patrol and is not currently in residence at the castle.
On patrol to the
Probably out
dark.
into the Darkenfold, yes.
Okay. Not back.
He often leads hunts into the Darkenfold.
Another question. Since we rested, is my wound gone?
Yes, you would have gotten that 1 hit point back, yes.
Okay. Because I see a little. I noticed that you didn't. By the way, just because I don't understand the Castles and Crusades way, so you gave me a wound versus 1 HP loss. What's a wound? How does that work?
Well, a wounds, your HP just shows you what your current hit points are. Wounds are just how many hit points of damage you have taken. It's just the column where you keep track of your damage. Yes.
Groovy. Thank you. Okay. Did we get an inn to spend the night in?
They're providing you a bunkhouse room in the barracks to spend the night in. You are not required to spend the night there.
We're not required to spend the night there.
I mean, they're going to provide you room and basically access to the mess hall to eat the chow the soldiers are eating if you want. Or you could go find an inn of your own choosing.
Right. I want to find Hasek and talk to him about, I don't know if we can trust these guys to spend the night in the barracks. We were kind of feeling set up here. Do you want to go to a proper inn, spend the night, a stable, sleep in some nice fresh hay? What say you, friend?
I mean, they need our help. So would they do something to us if they need our help?
Unless they're setting us up to fail. And I'm going to tell him the things that I heard about Rosette, about the Lord being gone, feeling like we might. Do they even want her to actually get there? Do we know why? Like, is she's getting married? Is it an arrangement for?
Always. She's nobility. Marriages are almost always arranged.
And how do people feel about the Lord Oromar and Aubrey Castle, that region?
He is a very popular ruler, and it is his youngest son she will be marrying, as basically setting up an alliance between Aubrey Castle and Castle Yevon. So
Okay.
yeah, it is an arranged marriage for political advantage. And on the Airdian calendar, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In 10 days is the Feast of the Unmaking. It's a 7-day month in the world of Aird that is basically a time of celebration in the world. Different parts of the world celebrate differently. Um, and the young lady's marriage is to take place during the Feast of the Unmaking at Castle Aubrey. And so the festival starts in 10 days. Um, you will get your details on the morrow when you report for duty.
Um, okay, so I'm fine with Hasek wanting to go to the barracks. I feel like I can go to find a bunk, pretend to be asleep, and listen. Listen for secrets, listen for um, talkings if people assume we're asleep.
All right. You will overhear, the usual soldierly gossip about how, you know, when the Lord's out of town, um, Gallardo, his head seems to swell to about 3 times its size, and he kind of forgets that he's not actually the lord of this castle. Tends to overstep his bounds at times, is the kind of grumblings you hear from the soldiers. And
Got
how,
it.
just generally the people that work for him don't trust him, which is not a good sign. And he apparently, maybe Gallardo's behind the setup. He certainly seems to have been involved in it. And the more you hear, the more you're almost certain that Lord Lievin is not party to whatever Gallardo is doing here.
Bit of a Robin Hood kind of theme going on. Okay. Um, so be on the wary. Did we hear anything like what the original plan was for her escort? What Rosette's father actually wanted? Do we hear that? Was it just supposed to be
Um,
2 little people, or was she supposed to have
no,
full?
they don't discuss that at all because you're among the town guard who are people that don't know a whole lot. Um,
Okay.
it's like most of their gossip is about the goings on in the town and grumblings about what a butthole Captain Gallardo is.
Okay. Okay.
All right, we are halfway through the stream. I think this is a good point to take a 10-minute break so we can refresh our beverages and all of that good stuff. So let us.
Stay tuned, kids.
Hmm?
I said, stay tuned, kids.
Stay tuned, kids. We will be back in a minute. And then we will find out what happens next. Stay tuned, kids.
Okay, be right back.
And we are back.
Hello, hello.
Hello, everybody.
All right. I'm eager to get back to it. Alrighty then. Yes, Aaron, that was the name of that track was Greenest in Flame, or was travel music from the Greenest in Flames sound set from Sirenscape. And all right, back to it. You guys have resolved to spend the evening in the barracks because, well, it's free. The food isn't great, but the barracks has a tap room where they will let you drink with the soldiers, and the soldiers all kind of get along with you fairly well. And so you spend an uneventful night.
Okay.
The next morning, let me get to that page. Early in the morning, you will be summoned to the courtyard. As you enter the courtyard, you see a large carriage, opulent in design but run down with age, hitched to 4 white horses. Something in there triggered. Something in
Crows.
that chat
Horses
triggered.
sound just like crows. Okay.
Well, yes. Well, I'm sure the crow is somewhere in my narrative here. The carriage is opulent in design, but run down with age, hitched to 4 white horses. A prodigious assortment of boxes, bags, and chests is piled atop it. 2 footmen and a coachman stand at attention, while an older man in a waistcoat fusses over a raven perched upon his shoulder. That's what triggered the crows.
Got it.
Riding horses stand nearby at the ready. As you approach, the older man looks up at you and sighs loudly as a raven squawks and flaps away. And he will say, "I am my lady's valet Fritz. You will be answering to me and me alone. During the trip, you are not to engage my lady unless she engages you first. If she asks you for anything, it is in your best interest to comply. Your only task on this trip is to keep my lady and her entourage safe and happy. Food and lodging will be provided for the trip, and you will be released from duty upon arrival at Aubrey Castle. As soon as milady arrives, we will depart." And he will go back to fussing over a list of some sort. Thacklish, make me a wisdom check.
Oh boy. I'm so good at
And
this.
this is you specifically. Nope. Something there to be seen, but it's wouldn't be easily.
What
All right.
intelligence? I mean, can't.
All right, give me an intelligence check.
No.
Not much better. All right, let me introduce you to another feature of Fantasy Grounds. In the upper right-hand corner of your table, you will see a little group thing that looks like 3 heads and shoulders. That's the party sheet. Click on that and you will open it. There will be 4 tabs. The main tab, to which I will add you guys. And then an inventory tab. Whenever you find any treasure, loot, or possessions that I want you to have, they will go into the parcel item window like so. You will each be provided 1 horse and 1 each of these items. So what you can do is, if you open the inventory tab on your character sheet, you can click the little red dragon symbol for each of those items and drag it over into your inventory. Okay. Lord Estmar has given you a horse.
Do we add the horse or we leave?
The horse isn't in there. You can add those possessions. Oh, the horse is in there. Yes, you can add. Drag all of it, 1 of each, into your inventory.
Got it. Okay. Well, I already have a bedroll, so I don't need that.
Well, then you have
But
two.
Same.
You can leave behind anything you don't want. They won't force you to take it, but for the road trip, nobles have it good. They can be rich and throw this kind of opulence around.
saddle, saddlebags, saddle
Yeah.
blanket,
That's
tent.
unless
Okay,
unless you already have a tent or
I
want to
do
sleep
not.
outside. This
I
is
don't
going
have
to
a
be a
tent.
road trip.
Gonna
Um,
be a
having traveled the countryside, you know that the route that they probably intend to take, um, you know, kind of parallels the river between here and Castle Aubrey. It is a less used road, thus, they want at least a modicum of security on this trip. You. Um, and the trip is expected to take about 7 days. All right.
okay.
And so you
Um,
claim your horses and you're going through your. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, I just looking at the this um my head just the carriage and all of what's on there. I'm gonna look at Fritz and say, um, because we what am I gonna say? How do I say what I want to say? Um, my goal is to find out if there's jewels, money, items of worth that we might make us more of a target than just the woman. Um,
Um, Fritz will sigh and look up at all the stuff and say, I have no doubt that some of the lady's possessions might be considered valuable. She um, likes to be prepared for every contingency. And he looks back up at the wagon again, a little bit annoyed at how much crap there is.
the okay.
So, yes, he has hinted that there might be something valuable up in and amongst there.
Mm-hmm.
Are your fingers burning?
Um, no, I'm just more worried about the setup, right? Um, I'm worried about the setup. And I know that thieves probably know of this lady, the the opulence that she is because it's well known what she is. So I'm more worried about the setup and that we might I'll look at Hussack and say I I hear that we're a target. We this if only we had more people to help us on this journey. We should try to find someone else for next time. If only there were three of us or four.
There will be. There will be.
There will be. So yeah, that's I'm up on my horse and
Fritz, are you going to bring up your security concerns to Fritz?
um sure. You know what? Fritz looks like a
He looks
weathered
like a fussy old man. Yes.
he this is not his first rodeo. Sure. Fritz, my friend, are you afraid this feels like a setup to me?
Nonsense. We have ridden this road many times. No troubles. No.
Hmm. Okay.
Make me a charisma check on
Yeah, sure, you betcha.
that.
Oh yeah, don't you know? There it goes. Not
um,
prime.
nope, not prime.
I was so tempted to make charisma prime, but I did not.
All good, all good. All right. So while you're standing around, um, it seems like you've been standing there at least an hour. Whatever it is has been an unreasonably um, long period of time while you're standing there waiting, and since the sun has come up and is now baking down onto the courtyard, and Fritz is like, getting more fidgety and agitated, when, after an unreasonably long wait, the silence is shattered by a shriek from one of the upper windows, followed by the sound of pottery smashing. A female voice screams, "I wanted partridge eggs! These are quail eggs! Don't you imbeciles know the difference? Ah!" An upstairs window suddenly shatters outward as a silver serving tray and bits of food fly into the courtyard. Fritz gives the party a weak smile and says, "It appears milady has broken her fast. We should be underway shortly."
The silver platter, is that close to me? Is anybody
Roll
around?
me a d12. Let's see how lucky you are.
Not. Nope.
Nope. It went bouncing off to another part of the courtyard.
I'm a terrible thief. Okay. I'm going to roll my eyes and get up on my horse.
All right. Milady
Oh.
Rosette, a diminutive girl of 15 or 16, long, dark, curly hair, dressed in a very fancy, very impractical for road trips dress, will arrive shortly, followed by her handmaid. She will make a point of not looking at you. And she will spend another 10 minutes whining and fussing over the arrangement of her boxes and bags and complaining before you are finally off on the road.
I'll decide my horse's name is Roach.
Cool.
Love
It's your
the-
horse now. I'm serious. That is the all of that is your possession now. They are not ever going to ask for it back.
Okay, let's go, Roach.
Maybe
What
because
color
they
is
don't expect you to survive. No.
Mm-hmm. Likely.
No. All right.
Such a setup.
The
such a
sky is a
setup.
leaden gray as you depart the castle gates. Rain blowing in out of the west, it looks like, to quickly obscure the morning sun. You wind your way down the hill and out of the village surrounding Castle 11. Despite the threat of a downpour, a throng of people have gathered to watch the procession despite the threat of rain. A few wave and cheer, while mostly just watch solemnly, but a few make warding signs as if to turn away evil. As you pass through the gates and over the crest of the hill, a faint cheer can be heard from the village.
They're happy she's leaving town.
They're happy she's leaving town.
I'm pulling my hood over, my cloak in, looking up at the foreboding skies, knowing this is a trap. It's a trap. Keeping my eyes out as we go. Hasek, you want front or back?
I can go
I-
front.
I'll take the rear. Sounds good. So I'll stay in the back, keeping my eyes and ears. I have such good listening, by the way. I have very good listening as a gnome, right? So listening, waiting for the TPK. I mean, waiting for the
All right.
melee to start.
What we're going to do is, let's see. I'm going to have.
Oh, you know what? I might pull. I have because feeling a little bit scary and knowing that we're making lots of noise. I'm gonna pull out my little panpipes and play a nice little tune. I don't know that I care if the lady likes it or not, but just a nice little tune to ease the tensions because I'm feeling nervous. So
All
I'm
right,
gonna.
She's mostly You don't see much of her. She's inside the coach with
Yeah.
the things drawn with her little entourage. There's the two footmen on the back. There's the guy driving the coach, the lady and her handmaid, and Fritz inside the wagon.
Mm-hmm.
And you two kind of keeping an eye on things.
Do you want the formation in the body sheet?
Oh, no, it's not necessary. At this point, everything is going to be theater of the mind. Later on, future sessions, I will have maps and maybe even some Tailspire stuff if I get the time to put it together. But for now, we will just play with our minds. All right, your first day out, we're doing classic role play here, so we have encounter checks. Each day, we check 3 times. Hasek,
Okay.
I'll have you roll a d6. On a 1, we'll roll on the encounter table.
All right.
All right. Daklish, give me a d6 roll.
Mm-hmm.
That is not an encounter. And Hasek, another d6 roll. Your first day goes uneventful, although, let's see. It is rainy and mucky and slippery and cold, and occasionally you will hear streams of cursing and griping coming from within the coach. Sometime around midday, you guys will stop, as is the routine, and Fritz will set up a little tent area and set up cooking and prepare a meal. Milady will not come out of her wagon when it's raining, so you will not see any of her, although undoubtedly she has something to complain about for the meal that Fritz prepares.
I think we're happy we don't see her. We
Yes.
just want this trip to be over. Better she stay inside and not catch a cold and be blamed for that.
All right. And at the end of the first day, you guys will scout out a place to camp.
Good thing we grabbed those tents. The rain.
Yes. The 2 footmen will share watches with you, so you guys can take one of the watches, and they'll take one of the watches, unless you want to each one of you be on a watch with a footman.
Are the
Or
footmen
divide it
armed?
up. Yes, the footmen are armed. Let me find them here.
Do we split up? Hasek, should we split up the footmen so one of us is with the footmen, or do we just, I feel like I don't trust anybody.
I think we should take separate watches
Okay,
so we can
we'll split.
get the most amount of sleep.
Excellent. We'll split the footmen up. You take 2. There's 3 footmen?
There's 2 footmen and the coachman, the guy that
All right.
drives the coach.
So we'll each take a footman and whoever the
coachman
coach.
will not take a watch.
Okay.
The
So
2
we'll do
footmen,
that. We'll split it up.
The footmen are basically they're armed with clubs and knives, clubs and daggers.
On my watch, can I talk to the footmen, find out what they might know, if they've heard anything? They're in the castle. They hear rumors. They hear things.
I don't have a picture of them yet for you, but how many people have seen the original animated Disney film 101 Dalmatians?
Yes.
You remember Horace and Jasper? The 2 footmen look just like Horace and Jasper.
Beautiful.
Who were Cruella's 2 goons. The short, fat slob and the tall, skinny slob. Those are you 2. And their names are Joris and Hasper, because copyright.
Okay, footmen. Joris and Hasper. Got it. So the footmen were in the coach with her or outside of the
They
coach
ride.
during the
They
day's ride?
They stand on the backboard of the coach.
So while I was back there, did I hear anything that they were talking about? Any plots? Any?
No, they really mostly kind of try to on the sly pass back and forth a bottle of wine, and other than that, just kind of bored, standing on the backboard. Every once in a while, they get down and walk because the wagon's not going very fast.
Okay. Okay. Um. s- Okay. So now we're doing the during watch.
Yes. During the night, there will be 2 encounter checks. Roll a d12 for the night. 1 and 12 at nighttime encounters.
Each of us roll a 12.
Each of you roll a 12.
Okay.
And because there's only 2 of you, we'll only check twice during the day, once each for the encounters as well. All right. The first night goes uneventful. On the second day, after a day and night of rain, the road has become mucky and slippery, making the going extra slow. Grumbling and whining streams from the coach at every lurch and bump as the coachman struggles to make it to the top of a particularly treacherous hill. Just as he makes a crest, there's a groaning noise, followed by a loud snap that causes the horse team to surge forward, taking the coachman and the reins with them as the carriage separates from the yoke and slowly begins to roll backwards down the hill. What do you guys want to do?
Whoa. The carriage is rolling backwards. Okay.
It's not going very fast, but it's starting to roll backwards, and there's a bend in the river. If it's rolling downhill, it's going right towards the riverbank.
And
Or
the
will
carriage.
be if it catches. The carriage
Fritz
is.
is.
The princess is inside the carriage. Yes.
No, Fritz. Fritz
He's inside
is.
the carriage too.
How does he drive from inside?
Fritz doesn't drive. Cromney, the coachman, was the driver, and he is being dragged up the hill, attached to the reins and on the harness of the now separated carriage.
All right, I'm gonna giddy up my horse from I was in behind, and hop up on the carriage and reach for the brake.
All right. You spur your horse. How far behind do you ride? Real close, or are you out of ways?
Just less than 6 feet.
Okay, so
Just-
you're right behind the carriage.
Yeah.
All right, so you ride up alongside. Make me that. This is a time when you really need to make a roll. Make me that dexterity check to hop from your horse onto the buckboard of the wagon.
Yes. It's prime.
Boom!
Hey! There we go. Finally, a
land
good
right in the
roll.
seat.
Just when I needed
And
it.
you grab the brake and pull back on the brake. Make me a strength check.
A strength check.
A strike check, yeah.
Oh boy, that's a -1. Hey!
Oh! Somehow, the wagon gets about 5 feet and just starts to pick up speed, and you put your feet against the forward board, and you're perpendicular to the ground as you're pushing on this lever with both hands with all your might, straining, and it finally locks into place, and the wagon comes to a stop. Crisis averted.
Good. And Hussek, we need horses. We need a repair. We need.
Yes, this will delay you by a day while the wagon is repaired.
Does Cromney know how to repair the yoke?
Cromney knows how to repair the yoke.
Does Cromney
And-
need any help?
If you wish to help, yes, he will take the help.
I'm gonna help him I want to get this sucker fixed as quickly as possible and get the
Yeah,
heck out of here.
Anyways,
help as well,
while
yeah.
you are fixing the wagon, let's have each of you roll a d6 as an encounter check.
Of course, it's gonna happen. Nope.
Nope, nothing comes to mess with you. And bear in mind, on my encounter tables, not all the encounters out there are monsters with big teeth. There's all kinds of things you could meet on the road. Most of
An
it's civil.
army of ants and worms.
Hey.
Okay, head on. We're
And
good.
the worms take over. All right.
The worms crawl in, the worms crawl out.
So you will spend the rest of day 2 repairing the wagon. Had you not successfully stopped the wagon before it got to the bottom of the hill, it would have rolled into the muck in the riverbank and would have taken you an extra day to clear it out of the muck before repairing it. So that was the price of failure. The princess wasn't going to drown in the river.
Which may or may not have been a failure.
I mean, I was tempted to just let it go. I was tempted.
Tempted. Okay.
That would have taken the campaign in another direction.
Just when you think you know the way we're gonna go, leave it to PCs to take in a whole nother direction.
You know, I am prepared to do that if and when it comes. You got to roll with the punches.
While we were repairing the yoke, did I notice any signs of sabotage on the carriage yoke? Was it a clean break? Had it been sawed? Because we helped.
Because you helped? No, it is apparent that this carriage was probably one of the finest carriages of its time when it was built 30 years ago. But it has gotten on in years and not been well maintained, and it just failed out of neglect.
So Castle 11 low on funds?
Yeah, Lord Estmar is not known to be a wealthy man.
Okay.
Do we want to take time to check the rest of the carriage?
Good idea, Hasek.
Yes, the rest of the carriage seems to be fine. It was just, the fact that it was a particularly steep hill and something about the angle and something broke. But
Okay.
with
The wheels are okay. The axles look good.
All right. Evening of the second day, let's have an encounter check. 1d12 each. That's not an actual encounter, but that's a close encounter. So
we hear things. It's a noisy night. Oh, that one is like a little. They're ghosties. They're ghost die.
That night, you're sitting in the bivouac in your camp, and you hear. Now, over the next hill, you can see another fire on the road, and you hear the boisterous sound of dwarves. There are a group of dwarves on the road, camped up from you. That is your nighttime encounter. Do you wish to approach them, or are you going to leave them be?
Hasek, I leave that to you, my friend.
I'll check on them.
You're gonna go.
Yep.
All right. You can.
I will stay hidden while Hasek is going
You're
up.
gonna follow though.
How far is it from where we are? Yeah, I'll follow.
Quarter mile to half a mile, not far.
I'll risk it.
10-15 minute walk, maybe.
You can always hide.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow hidden.
It is hilly with lots of brush and the occasional copse of trees in this part of the world, so there are always places to hide. Mm-hmm. All right, Hasek, as you come closer, you can see about a dozen dwarves 3 of them look young. 4 of them look like they might actually be security and muscle. The other ones look like merchants, like this is a dwarven merchant caravan. They've got 2 wagons and a whole bunch of oxen.
I will. I'm at their camp right now.
Yeah, you're gonna. If you roll up, one of the dwarves will say, "Brother dwarf, on the road. Come on in and have a beer."
I will join them.
All right. Dacklers, give me a stealth check while you're out there. All right.
That would be under abilities. Hide.
So I play a lot of another role-playing game that is not at all like D&D, and it's called Stealth over there. So I call it Stealth.
Pat, I thought Hussock was dead. Alternate
This
reality.
is the alternate Hussock.
All right, I'm hidden.
All right, you're hidden. Anyways, they'll bring you in and give you a seat at the fire and give you a beer and strike up a conversation and tell you about I know there's a dwarven kingdom near here, so they'll talk about home and give you time to catch up.
Yeah.
And ask where you're headed. What brings you out on the road all by yourself?
I'm not by myself. I'm being I'm on a mission to lead someone somewhere, and but I saw a fire and I thought I would come up and see what's going on.
We are traveling to Castle 11 because, well, we have, and he'll point at the wagons that are loaded down with beer. He's like, I hear there's a festival going on. We're going to sell our wares.
Oh yeah, I've been to the festival. It was good.
So, can I interest you in buying some beer?
How much is it?
Let's see. I will say, if the player's handbook, I'm sure it lists such things. Because you're a dwarf, they will give you a 10% break on player's handbook prices on beer, should you wish to purchase some. Let me see what they have in here. Adventuring gear. All they have there is adventuring gear, armor, containers, medical equipment, all kinds of things. Provisions and logging.
Beer is 2 copper.
2 copper for a mug. They don't give us the bigger quantities.
Like a keg.
I'll say Pat Draw says real dwarves would arm wrestle for beer.
You
know?
Do it.
Do you want to arm wrestle him for a keg of beer?
Let's do it. And otherwise, I will hear their pricing.
How many dwarfs are there?
There are a dozen.
7.
A dozen?
The 4 of them look like actual fighters, of The other 8, some of them might be women. Only Hussick could tell the difference.
Right.
So you want a strength check?
Yeah, I'm looking to see what dwarves do
If he
here.
loses, I'm hiding.
Basically, yeah, all I need is a strength check from you. Let's see how good you are.
Not great.
Do I notice, like, can I see what kind of merchants they are from my hiding, where I'm hiding and
Yeah, they are
sneaking
beer
around the
merchants.
camp? They're beer merchants. All they have is beer?
Mostly, yeah. Beer and beer-related accessories. The dwarf's name is Hank Beerhill. I'll sell beer and beer accessories. But yes.
Declish is not very intrigued by this, and I think Declish is just going to make his way back to camp. Nothing makes him excited about thieving. He doesn't feel like getting in a fight with a dozen dwarves over it's
All right, Hussick. They you weren't ready for that first arm wrestling, so the guy laughs at you and he'll give you another beer and he'll say, that was just a practice round. Let's go again. Give me another strength check.
hey, there we
Whoa,
go.
that time you beat him easily. He's like, all right, that's 1 each. Best 2 out of 3. And he'll make you drink another beer first.
All right.
You gonna match him with beers?
Yep.
All right.
Boy.
Give me another strength check. And you beat him again. He's like, I wasn't ready. Let's do that one over again. And he'll pour you another beer. And by now, you're getting kind of sloshy. Make me a con check.
Yep.
Oh, and you get real sloshy. And the last thing you remember is, laughing and partying and drinking beers and, winning and losing arm wrestling contests. And morning comes and, man, is your head popping. The dwarves are gone. There's a keg of beer sitting at the foot of your tent.
Okay, yes. You won. Strap that to your pony.
And your head is banging. And your bladder is banging.
What kind of dwarf gets done in by 3 mugs of beer? What was in that beer?
Oh, it was more like 13 or 14 mugs of beer before you
Pat, roll yourself up a character and come join us next week. He wants in on this party.
I got a seat right over there. I'm serious.
We could take one more. Pat said he was mad he didn't get invited. So.
Blame that on Chuck.
Chuck? What's up, Chuck? Why are you not invited, Pat? Made with spring water.
He set this up. All right. The hours, we do this 11 to 2 Eastern, or 8 to 11 Pacific, which is my time out here on the left coast.
The left. That's good. Okay. So morning breaks. I'm feeling sprightly. My friend over there is, as usual, suffering from a hangover, looks of. No, he's a dwarf. He's not hungover.
No, I mean, he's a little hungover, but he's dwarf hungover, which just means that he's grumpy and smells like beer.
Yeah, I'll you know what, Willie, you're right. Before we break camp, I'm gonna make him an extra strong cup of coffee and say the usual, Maybe it's got a little spicy in it, a little hot sauce. I'm gonna hand Husaka the spicy coffee.
Well, let's chuck that down.
All right, and you get on the road. Day
Oh,
3. Let's have encounter checks.
day 3. Here we go. That's a 12?
6.
Oh, 6. Whoops.
Yeah,
Close that.
daytime is a 6.
Daytime. Oh God, what just happened? Ah.
Well,
It
hold on.
crashed.
Your client crashed? We'll wait for you to
It
reconnect.
sure did. Like I went to go roll and
Did that happen?
That was
join.
yeah, I mean, that was a good party last night.
Ho ho, the beer's all
You
here.
partied so hard, you partied Dacklish right out of existence.
Well, as Dead Heart says, we're getting ready to start, and there's beer farts coming downwind, and I'm in the back, so it kind of knocked me right out. Close this, close this, close this. D6. There we go. How do I get my character sheet up? Where is my? I'm not even here.
That would be under player and then characters.
Yeah, I'm not in the. Do you guys see me?
I do, but have you claimed your character sheet yet?
How do I?
Go to characters, and you'll see you in there.
Oh, wait, characters, effects, party sheet, calendar, dice.
Under player on the right hand side.
Player, characters. There we go. Okay.
There you are. But
Should I
one.
No, I should re-roll. I hadn't
one
claimed my
is a
character
road
yet.
Encounter.
That's a.
Let me roll that for you.
We get a road
I'll
encounter.
go ahead and roll it here so you see. All right. Human. You come across a human fighter coming up the road the other way.
Hussak's still in front, so he sees him first.
Yep. You see a guy in chainmail, got a spear on his shoulder, trudging up the road towards you.
On foot.
On foot.
I'm in the back still. So Hussak, you see him first. Cast fireball.
Actually, hold on. Let me do this because it was supposed to roll more than once for that encounter table, and it did not work right. Hold on. He is not alone.
Oh, okay. Oh boy. What's with the invisible dice? What?
That's the way the table is. Oh, I can. Let me. I didn't realize the table made the dice invisible. So that's quite the party. 2 paladins, a cleric, a druid, and a fighter, and
Wait.
a rogue. So an adventuring party is coming up the road towards you in the other direction, and they will nod and tell you that the night before they had heard goblin drums out to the west across the river. So be on the lookout. Do you wish to stop and interact with them other than this? If not, they will continue down the road.
I will thank them for the information, tell them to travel safe. It's a muddy road ahead.
All right.
And yeah, I'm not stopping. We got much way to go.
We got work to do.
Goblin drums. Oh boy.
Uh-huh. That night, let's have the third evening, let's have your encounter rolls.
That's a 12?
D12,
That's a 12.
D12 for the night, yes.
Boy, that was close.
All right. But, would you say one of you might be on the midnight watch? Maybe both of you?
Ah.
I imagine it changes from night to night. Do me this favor. Roll me a d12 each. Let's see if one of you is on watch at midnight. Oh, Hasek, you are on watch. Bring up this. Around midnight, Hasek, you're sitting there. You're, got something, piece of meat roasted on the stick for a snack while you're sitting there thinking about that keg of dwarven beer, which is by now a third gone because you've been sipping on it all day. Around midnight, you hear a sound from the direction of the river. Sound is Pat. Eowyn is one of our other players. She was unable to make it today, and she is a cleric. All right, back to what I was doing. You hear what sounds like animal grunts at first, but the growling turns into yelling and bickering in an unfamiliar guttural tongue. Hasek, what languages do you speak?
I have not put those in. I forgot to do those.
All right, well, let's look at dwarf. It'll tell us what languages dwarves speak.
I mean, quite a bit.
I'm sure that this particular one is among them. Let's see. Oh, yes.
Common,
Oh, yes.
Dwarven, Gnome, Goblin, Oid, Halfling, Elven,
You
Orc.
definitely recognize the language as Goblin. In the moon, all right, are you going to go look?
No, but I'll keep listening really closely.
You hear goblins, and one of them is like, I don't know, what do you think we should do with them? I think we should eat them. I think the boss is going to be angry if we eat them. I mean, that might be worth something. I don't know. That one, he's kind of fat. I think he'd be tasty. I don't know. Well, let's get him back to the cave and we'll let the boss decide. But that's what you hear. And then it kind of, and make me a wisdom check.
Do I wake up when I hear the goblins talking?
Make me a wisdom check. Let's see if you do.
What did you want from me?
A wisdom check from you as well.
All right.
All right. Daklish is dreaming whatever it is.
Having nightmares about goblins.
He's having nightmares about goblins.
Because I hear the goblins. You know, like when you're sleeping and you hear things from the real world and they seep into your dreams. Goblins have. I'm having a goblin fight in my dream.
All right. So, Hasek, what do you want to do about it?
I'm gonna wake the whole group up.
All right. You guys are, you've got your little tents, and you've got, Joris and Hasper have their tents. It is obvious that Fritz has his tent, which is a little bit fancier than everybody else's. Cromney, the coachman, typically sleeps on the buckboard, and of course, the lady and her handmaid sleep inside the coach. So you're gonna go wake up Joris and Hasper?
Yes.
They'll grunt
And me.
they'll
Yeah.
grunt and they'll like grumble and come stumbling out and like, what? Do you know what time it is? I don't, but I know it's time I should be asleep.
I'll just say goblins.
Goblins? Where? Goblins? And you hear this, what at first you think might be a woodpecker sound, but you realize it's Joris's knees knocking together.
So I'm awake at this point
You are awake. You are awake
and have
to
been
the sound of
apprised.
Joris's knees knocking together.
We gotta go. Let's pack up. We gotta get out of here. We do not want to encounter.
It will take 30 to 40 minutes to take down all these tents to leave.
Mm-hmm. And at this point, I hear the direction that the goblins are coming from.
By now, they have mostly moved out of earshot, but Remen can tell you which direction they went. Well, actually, he can kind of tell you which direction they went. He didn't actually go up to the top of the hill and have a look. All he did was hear them.
So, Daklish just goblins into his soul of the deep hatred. So while camp is being packed up, and I'm sure the lady is not happy, but doesn't matter.
You gonna wake her up?
I mean, I was gonna wake Fitz up.
All right.
To ask for his opinion.
Fritz will say, it would be far better to suffer the goblins than suffer the wrath of her lady. How many were there? Hasek,
no
you
clue.
didn't hear more than 3 voices.
I heard 3, but they were going. They have a cave nearby somewhere, with what they called a boss.
And Fritz will be, they're going away. They are not my danger. Do not disturb the lady. And he will, go back in his tent and let the flap shut. Deal with them if you will. Do not bother me again.
Are you kidding me? You'd rather get eaten by goblins than get on the road and fight and suffer the wrath of the
He'll
prince?
stick his head out and say, I don't hear any goblins now. They have gone. Go back to bed.
Oh, good Lord. What?
Hasek, you definitely heard them talking about having prisoners, plural.
Well,
Question
Hasek.
is, are you a good guy? Would you go rescue somebody that has been caught by a goblin? Or is that their problem?
I mean, if I could help, I would help. But if I know it's too much to help, I wouldn't.
It's only 3 goblins.
But they were talking about a boss.
Yeah.
So there's probably more.
Possibly. This is entirely up to you. It is not required that you get involved here. However, actions have consequences. Whether or not you get involved here will affect events later on in the game. I'll give you that bit of meta.
See, Pat is exactly where I'm thinking. So Daklish is going to say to Hasek, I think we should go check out the goblins. If they want to get eaten and not be smart about paying heed to a viable threat, then we have 2 horses. We can just go on forever and never come back to this stupid town again and worry about the hard labor. I want to go. I want to find out more about this party. It's dark. It's wooded. We can, even you, my friend, can be hidden. I want to go scope out the goblin camp.
All
That's
right,
what I'm
let's-
gonna.
You have a burning
let's go with
hatred
the
of
goblins then.
goblins and a desire to do them harm at every opportunity.
I'm a gnome. It's in my
I'm-
DNA. I can't turn away. I can't just go back to sleep knowing that there's goblins.
And dwarves tend to think of them contemptuously as well.
Yes.
So we're gonna sneak in towards the direction of the duck. Yeah, let's go find out. Let's go see. Is there 3? Is there more than 3? Can we sabotage them so that we can
Alright.
get on the road?
You guys can get up to the top of the hill, and you can see there's clearly a trail where something was dragging things through the dirt where it crosses the road and heads up a hill into a copse of trees.
Mm-hmm.
You follow the trail, and as you get into the trees, you can hear voices ahead and see a cave mouth. Make me wisdom checks. You're never gonna make one of those rolls.
I'm
I
never
should just
making.
stop asking you.
Never will make a win. I'm a smart lad.
And those will be coming. Anyways, you guys, give me. Let's see, Daclus. Are you gonna move into the trees quietly?
You know it. That is also
Yes,
in
Pat,
my
level
DNA.
1. All right. Give me a move silently check.
Oh.
No, not hide. Move silently.
Oh, that one. Okay. I didn't even see that there. Come on. Hey!
Hey.
That's better.
She slips quietly into the trees, and as what you see as you get closer, you see a cave mouth, and standing at the cave mouth is a goblin. He's got one finger, at least 2 knuckles, up into his nose, digging for gold.
Of course he
Nasty little
does.
creature, and it's dark, so you don't see what he pulls out and tastes, but it's just nasty. But he's just standing there, staring off into the darkness. He doesn't notice you.
Okay.
And you can hear further in the cave, you can hear the bickering of and grumbling of 2 different goblins arguing.
And what are they arguing about?
They're arguing about whether or not to eat the fat one.
Who's the fat one?
You don't know.
Oh, right.
We can only assume.
What else is on the outside of the cave?
Nothing. It's just a cave mouth. There's
Just cave
no
mouth
torches,
and one goblin.
no nothing. One goblin standing guard outside a cave mouth.
And Hussack is with me. Hussack,
Hussick, did you follow her in?
Oh, definitely.
All right, make me a dexterity check.
Yeah.
Crash, crunch, stomp. The goblin noticed him.
You know, okay, so do we want to get into combat with this goblin and take him out? So goblins have, and I think dwarves, right, have attack. What is that?
They have enmity. They don't like
They
each other.
hate
I
goblins.
thought
I'm thinking about I don't know if we
I'm
should get
looking. I
into
think he
a
has.
fight, but we get
You have combat
um
expertise.
+1 bonus to
Because
hit. Okay, against goblins and kobolds.
yes.
I feel like I just want to shoot my bow. You know, I'm hidden,
All right. Well,
and
he
and
well
with Hussick
with
making noise and
Hussick
catching
making
his
noise.
attention, he would be off guard on.
Well, what's going to happen is Hussick, you slipped off into the brush, and Hussick decided to follow you. He's a little bit behind you, and when the goblin hears him coming, he will pick up his crude spear and kind of move out in that direction.
All right, I'm gonna.
He moved away from the mouth of the cave.
He moved away from the mouth of the cave.
He did.
Oh, beauty.
Hussick, you hear a not very stealthy goblin padding through the brush towards you. You can see him coming in the dark, and he can see you.
I want to. I'm waiting for Hussick. If Hussick looks like he's about to go to battle, I'm drawing my bow and I'm waiting.
I'm charging him.
Okay,
All
I
right.
shoot him. I'm not going to go into the
Let's do
cave.
this.
I like the idea of
Yeah.
taking out the goblin outside, and maybe the other goblins don't hear it.
So let me
Maybe,
let
hopefully.
me clear all of the revelers from the bar brawl off the combat tracker,
Let's go.
and
Oh, combat tracker is this one.
the 2 cross swords. Yes.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, let's go. I'm ready. Stinking goblins. My blood boils.
Had to adjust this encounter. It was meant to be an encounter for 4 players, but it was going to be more goblins if I had more players.
See, Pat, we need you.
I mean, dependable on how many hit points they have.
This is Castles and Crusades, not D&D, so I guarantee you that every single monster I put on the combat tracker has a random number of hit points. They get to roll. And goblins being a 1-hit die creature, there are goblins that have 1 hit point. It just sucks to be a goblin.
So
Sucks to be okay.
I mean,
right on.
I do have cleaving strike, so
Bing, bing. Let's go.
All right, actually, let me set that up. Sorry, let me back this up a little bit because the goblins did get initiative on you, but only one of them is aware of what's going on, and he will.
Do I get a surprise attack or no?
He's unaware of you there, so yeah, when your turn comes, yeah, you're gonna be able to hurt him.
Okay.
Or you could slip into the cave while he keeps this one busy.
Yeah, no, I'm not interested in going 2-on-1 with 2 goblins. I wanna get rid of the guy out front, hopefully before the 2 inside know what's going on.
This goblin steps forward with his short sword.
Spear?
Stabs it.
Oh boy.
It's short sword on the character sheet. I wanted him to have spears, but
Gotcha.
spear does the same damage, and he stabs you. Ah! Die, hairy one. Oh, sorry, wrong one.
Wrong die. If we don't want to do that much damage.
And he slashes you across your arm, drawing blood. Take that. Hasek, it's your turn.
okay, I'm gonna swing at him with my bastard sword.
That's not a sword. This is a sword.
He gets a
Swing.
bone. Does he also get
Hold on,
bonus?
That's right. Actually, he's got enmity with goblins and orcs.
+1, so that would be a 13.
Which means he gets a +1 bonus to hit. Let's see. The goblin's armor class. You rolled a 12.
So that would be a 13.
The goblin. Wow, those goblins have good armor class. They have a 15 armor class. So you missed the goblin.
I miss, yeah.
Daclus, your turn. You could easily come up behind and put a knife in his back.
Yeah, and melee is not my
Well,
thing.
I believe you get a +4 to hit from behind.
Oh, okay. Do I? Where does?
I don't know. I'm just going to, without bothering to stop and look it up, I'm going to say you get a +4 to hit from behind because.
Because all right. Well then, let's go ahead and let's see, where is it? Abilities.
It'll be under combat on the
Yeah.
combat tab.
Oh, on the
Yeah.
combat tab.
You can just use that. You can throw the dagger at his back.
Oh,
but
back
you can't
attack.
You can't get the let's see.
Back attack. Back attack. Well, it okay. This is.
I'm looking at a successful hit. All right, it is a +4 to hit. I was right, and you do double damage if you hit.
Okay, so
But you'll have to use the melee aspect of your weapon.
main combat dagger melee. I'm just gonna do this regular roll, or do I?
No, yeah, you
I
just
can-
do the regular roll.
So +4 +5 because of cult, right? Because I get a +1.
Yeah, it should have been factored in. Let me look. Because dagger in melee is based on strength, so you're taking a penalty as well. But
Right.
it didn't take.
Should I have ability? Back attack is
Yeah, you should have got a +4. A 13 would still have been a miss on him.
+1, right?
And yeah, 14 would still have been a miss. You still missed by 1.
Okay.
All right. But now you guys have him flanked. And he has yet to cry out and alert the other goblins.
Okay.
Daclus, you're still behind him.
Okay. Since I'm still behind him, I'm gonna try
and
jabbing
so
him
he's
again.
still unaware that you're there, so you get the same bonus to hit. That one with the bonuses will find its mark. Do your dagger damage.
Dagger, dagger, dagger. And the back is times what?
I'll do the multiple. The back attack is ×2.
3.
So you did 2 points of damage. Doubled is 4. You slip your knife into the back of his neck between 2 of the vertebrae. He makes a weird kind of crick sound, and his body goes limp as he falls to the ground, dead.
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 Stinking goblins. Ugh. I'm gonna wipe my blade on his. I don't want icky goblin.
And that goblin slumps to the ground while the other 2 continue to argue inside. All right. We are temporarily out of combat, so.
Okay.
What do you want to do?
Goblin 1 is dead. Hasek, shall we go after the other stinking goblins in this cave? I say we take them. They're just.
Yeah, let's take them.
They need to die. So let's go. I'm sneaking in.
All right. I need both of you to make stealth checks. If at least one of you is successful, I will give you guys a surprise round on the 2 goblins
Can I do
inside the cave.
move silently?
Yes. When I say stealth, that's what I mean. Usually move
Thank you.
silently, yes.
Okay.
Oh,
my
all right.
ninja.
You need a dex, right?
Hasek, you are so good that you made the dwarf quiet.
I made the dwarf quiet. I know how to
All
pad
right.
his
Oh.
feet.
So there are 2 goblins on the combat tracker. We'll let Dacklish, since you made that critical success, have the first shot. You have your total of
Bow.
+5 to hit.
Does that include for my bow or just for the dagger?
You know what? In this case, I'll give you the bonus to hit for the bow. You won't do the double damage because the backstab has to be to 11 plus 4 is
Plus-
15 as a hit.
Okay. Let's
So
go.
drop your damage on.
Let me take off one of these. Bow. This damage. Okay. 4, 5.
Which one did you shoot? Goblin number 6 or goblin number 7?
Whichever. So whichever's closest. So we see the 2 goblins, and do we see the prisoners that they were talking about?
There are 2 large leather sacks with lumps in them that you can't tell what is in them, but they're big enough to be people.
We know this of goblins. Then they don't. Yeah, just the one closest to me. Since they each got a sack, it doesn't matter.
Alright. The arrow, sinks deep into his side. He looks down at it and kind of makes a grimace and then falls forward dead on his face.
Goblins.
Hussock, 1 goblin left.
Oh boy, I believe in you.
I'll give you a bonus of +2 to hit it on top of your 1 for being a dwarf. If you want to run up on him and smack him.
Yes, definitely.
Hold on, I'm messing up. All right, go ahead. You hit him.
I hit him. Yes.
Baby.
Finally. He should be dead.
Stinking
Yes.
goblins. That's
The other
right.
goblin goes down, and you guys have successfully ambushed a small party of goblins.
Let's get those bags open. Free the people.
Alright.
Who's inside?
Inside the bag are 2. No, there's 1 dwarf and 1 gnome. Hussock is a dwarf. Dacklish is a gnome. There are 2 humans in there. Being locals, being from the area, you would recognize the first human, the fat one, as a gentleman by the name of Father Home. He is a blessed healer who wanders the land, giving out his blessings. And Father Home is kind of like a roaming healer figure that, is always welcome everywhere he goes. And his constant companion, the other human in there, is a woman that you probably don't recognize her, but Captain or Father Holmes' constant companion is a woman who calls herself Captain Willis, and she is one of the captains of the guard of Aubrey Castle, and they are often found out adventuring.
And Aubrey
Together.
Castle is what we're headed for.
Aubrey Castle is where you're headed for, and neither of you were injured.
No, Hussock took damage.
Yeah, I took damage on the
Oh, he
first
did.
goblin.
All right, Father Home will say thank you for the timely rescue. We were caught while on a mission in the Darken Fold. We were caught by ogres and traded to these goblins.
Ogres.
Ogres. But thank you for the rescue. No doubt we would have eventually escaped, as we always do, but we do appreciate the intervention. And as thanks, Father Home will reach into his pouch and he's going to bring out 2 bottles, which I will put into the party parcel. 2 potions of healing.
Nice.
Nice.
Is he gonna heal?
Yes, he's going to heal Hasek.
All right. Um, so Father Home, what hear you of the Darkenfold and and the I'm sure you've heard that what's his name is getting married to Rosette.
Oh, I Father Holmes, I do not keep track of the politics. We were investigating. It appears that the ogre chieftains are being rallied by a leader somewhere, and we were trying to get close, and we did not when we we were careless and got caught. But where are you headed?
As a matter of fact, we are bringing Rosette to the Aubrey Castle for her pending nuptials.
Ah, as it so happens, we are headed to Aubrey Castle too. Might we join your entourage?
Oh, absolutely. The
Splendid.
more the merrier, sir. Looking around the cave, is there any valuables that catch my eye?
Oh, yes, there's all kinds of loot in this cave. I'm glad you asked.
Of course, I'm a thief. I mean a rogue.
Pat, in addition to these two people, there are 2 coachmen, a footman, Milady's valet, and her handmaiden. So yes, it's an entourage.
But this is just like the Father Home was just Father Home and Captain Willis by themselves.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Those okay.
But they are
All
going
right.
to join your entourage.
And what booty do I get to pick
All right.
from?
I will describe all of these pieces before I add them to the party treasure.
My eyes are
there's a
sparkling
wooden
already.
candelabra inset with gemstones. There is a bloodstone. There is a crystal vase. There is a moonstone. There is an oilskin cloth. There are 2 paradots. There is a magnificent looking large wooden shield and a very, very fancy scimitar.
Okay. It's shiny. There we go.
The scimitar is very shiny.
A wooden candelabra.
A wooden candelabra.
Interesting that it does. That's interesting.
These all came up on the random treasure rolls.
Okay.
Yeah, I did everything by the book.
Everything by the book. Is it a magical bloodstone, moonstone?
Do you have a way to determine that?
Probably not. I'm unless my wits.
It could be magical. That blade is real shiny. And in fact, the dwarf being a dwarf can look at that blade and tell you that it has been coated with silver.
Oh, nice. I don't know that I have proficiency with swords, so
Let's see, yeah, scimitar, probably not.
yeah, that seems like that's a Hasek. I'm gonna go grab that sword and hand it over to Hasek and say, "Good job, my friend."
I don't need this sword.
It's an expert sword, though. Does that mean it's
expert? But my sword deals more damage.
Your sword deals more damage.
Yeah.
Well, me being little, I don't know that I really want to carry around a sword that might look shiny. I am gonna pick the
scimitar. Packs a +1 to hit.
But I also get that from my weapon specialization.
It's not a well. It could be magical. Yeah. You don't know. Anyways,
I'm gonna quickly pocket every gem. I don't care what it does, and I'm gonna pick out the gemstones from the wooden candelabra because I'm not thinking wooden is. I'm just gonna. I'm pocket.
Make me an intelligence roll.
Okay. Bonk, here we go. Come on. Oh, God.
No.
I'm so. It might be prime, but I'm.
Make me an intelligence roll. I'm going to give you the outside chance.
Oh, me? Okay.
Before I go breaking the wooden candelabra.
Yes.
Oh.
All right. I will tell you, because you're a rogue and you would know, that this candelabra is made out of some sort of exotic hardwood, is exquisitely carved, and is a piece of art. And with the gemstones inset, it is probably worth a lot more money than the gemstones themselves pried out of it.
Oh, thank you. Okay. I hope that. Well, I have a pony, so I guess I'm trying to grab all the things. The sword, I think, is probably
I
worth
can
more,
take the
but
swords. I
yeah,
can take the sword probably.
Anyways,
good. All
we
right,
are
let's
at
go.
the point where we are going to go ahead and wrap it up for the day and get ready to. We're going to throw a raid over to Blue Box Gaming.
Yeah, they're starting.
Yes, they should be starting. So yeah, if you guys want to go through your
What does
your
the
party treasure,
oilskin cloth mean? What does that even mean?
I have no idea. It
No
just came
idea.
up.
It's waterproof.
Yeah, it's basically a waterproof cloth, something that you could wrap something that you wanted to keep dry, wrap it up and bind it in it.
I think Hussock should wrap his sword in that.
But
Okay. Or
anyways, we will pan out on you guys standing among dead goblins and loot as let's see. Let me set this up here.
All right. Do we need Chuck to do the raid?
I'm gonna find out if I can do that. Hold on.
Right on. Yeah, because Blue Box should be getting started. It's 2 minutes after.
Yeah, we kind of got having fun and lost track of time.
Whoops. Where's Blue Box? Oh, 3, 2. They're going live right now. Let's go. No just raid Blue Box RPG. Yeah.
Okay.
/ raid and then no Blue Box RPG. I will also ping Chuck. No, we got it.
Let me set up the raid.
All right. Let's go.
Players, let's say goodbye to the stream and get ready to pop over to Blue Box. Thanks you everybody for coming out to our first session. Despite a few bugs, we got it done and we had some fun. And we will see you guys next time. Tell Blue Box we said hey.
Let's go.